Hello, hello. A very
Hello.
welcome to this very special Boring Crypto Mint edition. And the reason that you're here on my YouTube channel today is because I've just surpassed 1,000 subscribers. Hooray!
Yay!
We've
Sound
done it.
effects of cheering and
Yes, that's it.
we need a sound effect thing.
There's been two shows to celebrate this. If you haven't seen the show that I did earlier this week with Nor, you need to go and check that out. Nor shows us the Norverse and all the stuff that he's creating there. That was part one of this 1,000 show specials. This is part two. And in part two, we have a very special guest. We have Brian Gold from JPEG DAO, one of the key members of that project, and he is going to give us about 20, hopefully if his audio works perfectly, he's going to give us about 20 minutes insight into everything JPEG DAO. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the advent calendar drops and how he thinks that went, and he'll also be talking to us about 2022 and some of the changes that they've had. We have also got a very special giveaway in this first 20-minute segment with Brian, and that is that you can, as a live viewer, you can win some JPEG tokens. Hurrah! All you have to do is you need to do what's down on the bottom of the screen there. It says, type in the comments, Silver Fox. Very simple, because it's silver membership, and I'm a Silver Fox because I'm going grey. So if you type Silver Fox into the comments, you will then be picked up by our random generator, and after Brian's segment we will then be choosing who Brian gives his tokens to. So get writing Silver Fox in the comments. Brian, it's great to have you with us. Very warm welcome. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Ben.
It's no problem at all. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you, rather than ask questions initially, I'm just going to give you the floor for 10 minutes so you can kind of open your mind, open the Pandora's box of JPEG DAO, tell everyone what's going on, and then we can, Ink and I can kind of just chuck in a few questions and we can do it that way. Does that work for you?
That works great, yeah.
Just a quick thing, if you could just explain to people, in case they don't know what a DAO is, what that is, and who are people that do that as well. Just a quick little
I'm going to try to start at the top without going into too much craziness around DAOs, but we'll try.
Yeah, just very brief, if you could.
All right, that's it. I'm on?
Yeah, you're on.
Take the floor. Take the floor.
I'm tweeting to get you attention.
Okay, so JPEG DAO is a community dedicated to providing its members with amazing, incredible NFT experiences, not just NFTs themselves. And a DAO is distributed autonomous organization, is what it stands for. But what it really means is a community of people that use blockchain to make decisions. So in the DAO, we have, for example, the art committee, and the art committee decides they want to sponsor a particular artist. Well, they all vote with their wallet to determine who that artist is. So DAOs just use blockchains and communities to vote and decide what happens. At JPEG, what we do is we have two levels of membership. People that have 10,000 JPEG tokens and people that have 100,000 JPEG tokens, silver and gold membership. And those people receive free NFTs from us every month. And that's kind of the core of our membership, is that we're giving people NFTs. They can come hang out in our Discord, talk to other artists. But in 2022, we really want to build on that membership, start providing more than just NFTs, but NFT experiences. So be able to use your NFT in a metaverse, being able to buy philanthropy-based NFTs, being able to buy smart NFTs. So we really just want to experiment on what you can do with NFTs beyond just the art aspect. It's kind of a little bit of background on who we are. I could definitely get into 2022. What do you think? Any questions on just those basics?
Well, what I'd like to know is, let's say you're a person who wants to get involved in a DAO, but they don't know a lot about NFTs yet. They've only just heard about it.
Yeah.
Who would they go to, and how would that work for them to learn more if they came to you? Let's say the word starts getting out and artists start coming to you more, but they're really new. How would you help them ingratiate in a better way?
Yeah, sure. So the best place to go is our Discord server, and we've really improved the experience on a new member in Discord. So they go to Discord, gives them a little about us. They hit OK. It opens it up, and then one of our welcoming members will say, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing here? What are you interested in?" And someone will jump in and have a conversation with you. And we've moved recently a lot of our conversations into the public instead of behind these private committee chats. And so you can immediately see what our marketing, what our art, what our innovation, what our governance group, what our creative group is doing. And it might seem a bit overwhelming, but at that point, if you have specific questions, it's good to have a one-on-one. It doesn't have to be with me. There are lots of people in the Discord server willing to help you.
Great. What else would you like? So going into this year, because it's going to be like, we've just started and there's a lot to have happen. What does I know that there's going to be different membership levels. So what does that offer people, especially since we're giving away a silver membership?
We're giving away a silver membership. So 3 huge changes for 2022. Okay. Membership levels, new governance, and new NFT redemption experience. So membership levels, silver is the 10,000 JPEG, gold is 100,000 JPEG, and beyond getting more intricate, more rare NFTs at your gold level membership and being invited to more exclusive events, it's very simple. There are less gold members, and so the distribution on those NFTs is going to be lower,
right?
Because you're at that level. The silver membership still works the same, still fantastic, still a way to build a portfolio of NFTs that are, might I add, liquid, so you can kind of buy and sell and trade them, which is very cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's the membership levels.
Now, what about this token? Because now I think anyone that's been familiar with the DAO so far has been getting airdrops of their art. So does that mean now airdrops are going away and they're being shifted more towards the redemption sort of aspect?
Yeah, so for January, we've switched to the 2 membership levels, but we're doing airdrops in January. Starting in February, there'll be a new way to redeem your NFTs. And we thought about, hey, how should we give people NFTs? The claimable balances or pending tokens is so-so, right? In terms of an experience, a way to get your NFTs. So we thought, what's the best NFT experience in Stellar? Well, it's Lightmint. So let's actually use Lightmint. So what you'll receive is a JPEG redemption token. Silver members will receive 1 a month, and gold members will receive 11 per month, because we got to take it to 11, right? Can't just be 10. And we'll provide you a link. By the way, this redemption token is actually the code version of the cryptographic version of a mountain. It's going to be X1F3D4, or you can start it out with 0xF1D3D4. And we're actually going to be applying for a Stellar enhancement protocol that in wallets it will display as a mountain the actual name of the token. But we'll see if that actually happens. That'll be
well. I mean, that's cool. That's pretty interesting. I like that. We have a question here from Javid. What kind of utility are you planning with JPEG NFTs in 2022?
Sure. Let me just finish about this redemption, and then we'll jump into that.
Sure.
So you'll get this token, you'll receive it, and you'll see a special link on our website, and the link will take you to our list of NFTs on Lightmint. We'll produce 1 with a distribution of 100 per week. Right now we have about 300 members, so that'll give everyone a chance to pick one. And you'll go, oh, I like this one. And you'll change your 1 redemption token for 1 NFT. Some NFTs people will like more than others. For example, if we drop a punk, that will probably sell out pretty fast, the 100. And then it might elevate beyond just the price of 1. It might become worth 1.1 or 1.2.
Right. Let's say, not to interrupt you, but like, what if someone immediately wants to turn around?
So the fun part is they don't actually have to buy an NFT with their token.
Okay.
That token, I'm assuming, will start to take on a value of its own. And so, yeah, they could just change it for XLM if they want to.
Okay. That's really cool. Is before we move on to questions, is there anything you'd like to add? Because that was just a thought I had. I didn't mean to interrupt, but if there was anything else you'd like to put out about the redemption process, will there be any kind of is there any need for token burning effects in anything that's going forward into the year? Do you feel like how is the supply for you guys? How do you feel as investors going forward with what's available? How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, so I don't think we need to burn anything. There's in a DAO, it's impossible to do a rug pull because the money is so split up among so many committees, and each committee has 5, 6, 7 people managing the wallet. So that's not possible. What I'm more focused on is increasing the value of the NFTs, and if the NFTs that we give you go up in value, then the membership is worth more, right? That's how I think about it.
Okay. So let's go back to utility. What are some of the things that we can expect to come from NFTs in the new year here? I can think of a couple things that are in the works, but I'm not going to talk about them right now because they're just too early. I don't want to say anything that isn't necessarily guaranteed because time is a big deal. But what do you have to say about it? As someone who's an artist and who's working on things, I don't want to create unnecessary hype too early for something that just isn't ready.
Yeah. So in terms of utility, I don't want to create artificial utility. I want the utility to feel real. So let's start with the art aspect. The art aspect utility will be up because we'll be having lore and story, and people choose your own adventure using instant DAO voting. So just the art game itself and bringing in artists from other communities that are fairly famous and successful, or stellar-based artists that might be on the show that are famous and successful. We'll be bringing in.
Brian, you already have me on like what am I working on? I'm working on some like 40 some odd piece thing that started early. Like this is the thing. Like I guess from my aspect as an artist, not to Ben, if you have anything to say, like please chime in at any point.
I'm saving up a couple. I'm saving up a couple of questions. I'm just waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm going to sum this up real quick because we only have so much time to do it. My collection started early. Like you hired me on to the DAO to do art, and a lot's changed in the process and the way the DAO works since day one. Let's say it's not me. And an artist that just started then is still working on their stuff now, but they didn't have the same sort of structure that's being created at the moment with the lore and any new implementations of use cases. What would you tell an artist if they felt sort of displaced from all the change since the beginning? Should that be a concern, do you think?
So I think with all of the different things the DAO is doing now, and in terms of utility, a lot of it is around entertainment and metaverse experiences, and even philanthropy. We're going to have NF trees, but I'm not going to get into detail around that now. There's lots of things going on. So for an artist, what I might share with them is you don't need to be involved in our governance. You can just be an artist. You can just be an artist that we hire. And we hire artists in 2 ways. We hire them to drop their NFT on our membership. And so 300 people instantly have their NFT. And then we might follow on and buy a few of their pieces to sell on our store for JPEG tokens, kind of a follow on to a drop. And so an artist from another community, I mean, that's a warm welcome to have almost all of the biggest collectors in Stellar to have a piece of your artwork immediately.
Okay, good. All right, yeah.
So I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in with a question because I've got that much going on in my head. I'm thinking, don't forget it. Right. So Brian, LumenSwap are building out the first of its kind DAO software, right? Off the shelf DAO software for Stellar projects where you can stake LSP and you can make a proposal, and then you can also stake LSP to back that proposal, right? So you can basically, a traditional kind of software-based DAO. Would you say that you guys are going to be, looking at moving to that system? Because I think one of the only kind of negatives that's come up so far to me with JPEG DAO is that, it's more like a centralized team making decisions at the moment. Although it's, it is community contribution, there is a small group of people that are making like big decisions on it. And I think that a lot of people I've kind of stumbled across have said, a software style DAO where JPEG tokens for proposals, JPEG tokens for, voting would be something they would be really interested in seeing. Is that something that may be in the pipeline?
Yeah, it's the idea of a vote leading to an execution automatically is really interesting to us. And part of what we've done by being the first DAO on Stellar is we've encouraged DAO software. So Instant DAO, CryptoLink, different Discord apps, different voting mechanisms. We've encouraged this ecosystem to develop. So we are open and beta users to any new DAO software coming out on Stellar for sure.
That would be fantastic. I'd absolutely love to see that JPEG DAO move into that frame, because I think that's a really big thing moving forward. To get that true democracy and people actually feeling they've got a voice, especially like you say, the people from the community contributing those ideas, coming and being welcomed in, and then maybe able, if they're big holders of JPEG, to be able to make those proposals. Even if they're like lacking in confidence, they might be an introvert, but they might want to make a proposal that they think is in the best interest. I think software is certainly a way to go. I think that's answered your question. That was from my bro Glow with regard to implementing governance style voting. I think that's it. Jack here has put a cool thing about the DAO model is the community drives the ship. Get involved, you can participate in developing utility. Absolutely. That's something we've touched on. I
just want to build on that a little bit and build on beyond voting, which I think is important to DAOs. I want to just say something about the governance going into 2022. We've adjusted the model to allow people to not just vote, but execute and drive their own ideas. And so committees are going to basically be made up of people that are on the wallets. They're going to drive very core responsibilities of the wallets, but anything beyond the core responsibility of the marketing or the art or the innovation committee, everything else will go out to our bounty board. And so if you have an idea, you put it on the bounty board, and then a committee says, great, do it. Or the bounty board puts out an idea and someone in the public says, I will do it. And so it's beyond just driving these NFT experiences. We're creating a new style of governance, a new way to empower people to do what they want and us to fund it. And so that's taken some time, and I'm pretty excited about how that's working out.
That sounds pretty good as well. I mean, I like the whole bounty board idea, so that you can actually bring different people in with different skills. It's a really cool idea. I'm pretty passionate about that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Sorry if anyone heard the Cheesley Museum. I was going over the DAO website.
Oh yeah,
I was just looking myself. So there's some cool stuff. So yeah, Brian, talk to us about the museum and that kind of thing. So that's another aspect that's pretty cool.
So Cheesley's been a big advocate of the bounty board, and he had this idea to build out a museum with our art in it. It's a centralized effort by Cheesley. It's a great, cool way to view the art, our art in a museum. He might upgrade it. He might put out more bounties for himself, and I think our committees are.
I hear could be some additions being made to the museum. That's what I'll say for now.
That's all we're going to say.
It's exciting.
For now.
Yeah, we have someone that's new working in writing lore, and we'll talk about that when it's more complete. You guys have a lot to do. A lot of people have a lot of decisions to make in the DAO. What I found just a comment that I wanted to make, and I was curious about how if people found it to be more privatized because of the amount of people making decisions. If people aren't getting involved in the DAO, isn't that the problem? Isn't it so much, not so much that there are too few people making decisions? Isn't it that the people that are supposed to be making contributions in the DAO aren't, and then that makes it very small?
Yeah. So the new governance model is supposed to address that. But the other thing is, I think we need to zoom out. Right? It started with me and a few people, and then we build these multi-sig wallets to prevent any rug pull. And then we had a few people making the major art decisions. And now, in terms of major decisions and major execution, we're up to probably 15, 20 people, I would say. DAOs where the founders start to really back away have 5 to 10,000 people in their Discord. And we're just not there yet. So I think zoom out, we're going in the right direction.
It's also very early. I can remember when you brought this up to me, and we talked about this in the Twitter space a couple months back and things. You had this idea to start this DAO when you got interested in NFTs, and it really had a snowballing effect for you. It started to take off, and it started to become a thing on its own. People got involved, and it's been very small. And it's I think you had a major accomplishment last month with the Advent drop. I think you guys bit off way more than anyone thought you could chew. Like, I think that's maybe that's where some criticism has come in from people, is that you guys did that, and I don't know, it's like hitting a home run, and then you lose by one, or it's still tied and it's the 14th inning, and people are like, where's that extra run? And people are expecting something else. And I think it should still just be, like you said, take a moment to step back and say, like, there's a lot to be done, and a lot has already happened. I mean, you guys gave out so many NFTs every day for a whole month. I want to applaud you for that, really.
Appreciate it. It was an incredible experience. If someone said, let's do it, and then we did it. And definitely we got to thank Cheese and Lumen Jack and all the artists for really contributing heavily to that. But it's not over, per se, the Advent drop. Those NFTs can now be involved in games and experiences going into 2022.
Right.
I'd love to see card trading, where you can trade your Advent cards among each other. And if the NFTs are all liquid, which we are working really hard to do, liquid among our new token, but liquid among XLM, we're basically going to open the door for applications to say, let's swap. So let's swap NFTs. And you're only able to do that with NFTs like ours that have a distribution of 2, 3, 400, and each one is claimed by a passionate member. You really allow for this like card swapping NFT experience that I want to see happen.
I think that's a good idea. I can think of a couple of people that I already know that are working on some card game stuff that want to get in. Well, this guy right here, this crazy guy, myself included, but also someone else who isn't really into NFTs yet, or has some card game ideas and then wants to implement it into NFTs. So I think that's going to be a big deal for anyone who wants to take on projects like that.
I'll just throw out, I know we're over time, I'll just throw out one thing I'm looking for the wallets and exchanges out there like LumenSwap to do, something that's really needed. I tried a few days ago to swap between two of our liquid NFTs because they were both liquid to JPEG and JPEG is liquid to XLM. So you should be able to swap one-to-one. And all of the big wallets made it incredibly hard. You had to put like lots of decimal places, and it didn't align with Lightmint's system of 2 transactions per bid or per ask. I'd love an experience where you can just do a swap between 2 NFTs, and it would just do the calculation for you, and you could just swap them.
Well, I think that's the other thing that needs to be considered, is that there's a lot that's still evolving in the process of NFTs on the network in itself, And the more advancement Enlightenment makes, that's going to really push all of us forward, and that takes time too. So we have to respect them for the time that it takes to code these things and to build the necessary user interfaces. As Ben flexes over there, there's a lot.
It's the flexing emoji. It's the flexing emoji. Yeah, it's just that. I'm just.
There's a lot.
I see. Okay.
All just start flexing. I mean, I think most developers on the community should start flexing. But I think what was it? Lemon Jack made a good point that large communities are hard to put together on Stellar.
Yeah, let's pivot,
yeah.
right? So we've
We've
done some stuff. Sure. Let's pivot while we still got Brian on. Let's talk about two key areas that I think that are really important for JPEG to go to the stratosphere. One is, how do we bring huge amounts of people into Stellar? I've been on many different chains, but prior to Stellar this year, I've seen some of these protocols go 1 billion plus TVL in a day. Stellar is got like liquidity building issues at the moment. We're about 40 million TVL after 2+ months. Right, we're not getting the traction of people coming in, providing the liquidity. All of the projects on Stellar, they need the liquidity to be alive. It's the lifeblood. How do we navigate bringing people to Stellar, and how do we navigate the liquidity issue, in your opinion?
Okay, so there's two pieces to it. You got to bring in the big names, the big people, the big players, and then we have to improve the onboarding. So you bring in the big people basically with money, right? Whether it be offering them money to come play in our sandbox, or it's new businesses thinking Stellar is the right place to be, and us convincing them. But then the onboarding experience needs to be seamless from a software perspective, but also community, right? So we need as a community to say, oh, here's these 20 artists, or here's these 20 podcasters. We're all going to provide you with a wallet with XLM ready to go, so you don't even have to worry about the XLM. So we just have to be super warm and welcoming, and then also, on the other hand of it, continue to build up the technology infrastructure.
Do you think there's complexities around? I mean, for one, I've used a lot of EVM chains. And they all use, say, MetaMask as a wallet, for example.
Yes.
You come to Stellar and you've got like Albedo, Rabbit, Freighter. You've got a plethora of different clients connecting into the SDEX. You've got Lumen Swap, Stellar X. I mean, as a new person coming to Stellar, it is a minefield, isn't it, of things that you have to learn. How do we? I mean, I'm really passionate about Rabbit and what they're doing in terms of mobile, desktop, extension wallets, and with Lumen Swap doing the DAO stuff and doing all of the swap and everything. I think you're only going to need those two tools to be able to interact with many things. But I mean, how do we simplify? I think that's the key. Any fool can overcomplicate. How do we simplify it like a genius?
What's up?
A lot of the other wallets I've noticed from networks that make it simpler for people is that they're multi-chain. They have all of the other D apps available on the app, like a web browser. It's like a little shopping experience for cryptos, and I think that makes it easier for the average person who gets into it. Is that they have more button interfaces and more easily accessible sort of icons that describe what's going on, and that everything's there. Like if someone's interested in Stellar on an app, I think they also need to be able to have that cross bridge. There needs to be more cross bridge development. I think that's a big part of getting people on. And at this point, enough people in cryptos, as they get more used to one wallet, they're going to download another. I talk to people all day long, and some people have like 7 or 8 wallets on their phone, and they don't even really know why. I think something about that is what's latched people onto other places, right? Like, go ahead.
So I agree with you about the UX. It really needs to improve, and we could all kind of imagine what a better UX would look like. You don't even need to care about the XLM kind of thing, but there's an incentives issue. And I talked to the head of liquidity about a year ago at Stellar Development Foundation. He presented this to me. He said, from a software perspective, Stellar's built in this interesting way where it's one decentralized exchange. So every wallet is working off the same order book. And from a software developer's perspective, that's great. That's awesome. Like, we're all in this together. We're all adding liquidity to the same pool. But it didn't work out from a liquidity standpoint. He made the comparison of all of the toilet paper is available at one grocery store during the pandemic, or the toilet paper is available at many grocery stores, right? And the many grocery stores approach wins out. So that's Ethereum, is you have centralized, decentralized exchanges, and Stellar is one decentralized exchange. And so there isn't the incentives for projects like LumenSwap to raise $10 million, or for Lobster to raise $10 million and build out these things. In the past, those incentives didn't exist. But now with market makers and Ben, you can speak to this. Are the incentives starting to appear for an individual project to invest heavily in Stellar?
Yeah, I think that the market makers are going to be a game changer. I think with a lot of projects now, and I mean, we're seeing this with, we started to see it with LumenSwap, and I think they've got their own reward schedule, for providing liquidity. So to bootstrap this liquidity, to bring people in, of course, people are then going to come. You start rewarding people and start giving away. People will come in the crypto space. Most people are here for the reward side, and I think, like you say, that is going to be a key to us being able to move assets freely. And I think, that liquidity, as I said, is the lifeblood. So for us to be able to reward, so say JPEG decided that they were going to do we're going to put some of our tokens towards a liquidity provision reward schedule, and they were going to reward people to provide liquidity there. That might draw some people from other networks. And I think that it's going to be an absolute key piece, the automated market makers, to draw in. But I also feel that what has made a big difference on other networks is that the development foundation on other networks, let's just use Phantom, for example. Phantom have said, we are going to give a war chest of FTM if you are going to be building out liquidity provision kind of projects, right? If you are a developer in that area. So we're going to give a war chest of FTM to you, so you can give that to your communities. Nothing in that kind of area is happening on Stellar. They're burning XLM where they could be using that XLM, distributing it among projects such as your own, and saying, here you go, this is only to be used for incentivizing cross-chain people into Stellar to provide liquidity. Because they've got a deal with, obviously, MoneyGram, right? Mm-hmm. And MoneyGram is going to open up a lot of people. But if we haven't got the liquidity in the network to be able to transact $2 million, $5 million, $100 million from one place to another, right, using this MoneyGram network that they've got, huge amounts of, then it still doesn't work. So they've got to be proactive, in my opinion, on incentivizing projects such as yours and the ones that I'm involved in, to be able to incentivize those people from other networks. But that's just kind of my take.
Yeah, you're getting deep into the SDF politics, and so SDF is, as we know, is really focused on the cross-border payments and the remittances. And I believe Sam Connor was sitting with the top executives at Stellar Development Foundation and said, "I know this is what you're focused on, but all these little bitty projects, if you were to lift them up, you would attract more developers and more people that would then help you with your core mission." And they weren't super receptive. This was kind of a year and a half ago. But now there's Lightmint, and now there's LumenSwap, and there's these projects that are saying, we're not so small anymore. We want attention from the network, and we bring people in. We have value to the network besides just remittances and cross-border payments. And I feel like SDF is starting to listen and highlight those projects, which is amazing to see the community be able to drive the network as opposed to SDF driving the network. But
that's exactly, I mean, that's the core, the core fundamental of what you're doing, isn't it? The community driving the project on a wider scale. That's what we're starting to see happen. And, you and myself and Sam and many others are trying to find this balance. One thing that I do find is particularly interesting is that we have, the correlation between Stellar and, the institutions and in Congress and trying to be the bridge between traditional finance and into the crypto space. And then you've got these kind of like almost a wild west of projects on Stellar. Some of these have got anonymous teams. Some of these are like very much focused on Web3 and decentralization. I'm very intrigued to see how those two match, because of the projects that, I've got close associations with. They are not wanting to have a registered business in the US with a board of directors and everything, in suits and box ticking. They want to be decentralized, Web3, anonymous teams. So I'm fascinated how they're going to find that bridge between the two.
This might be controversial, but I think a lot of it is mass civil disobedience. I don't think much of it is truly legal in the U.S. When it comes to these security tokens. If you have an NFT and you give away a benefit once a month, I mean, that's called an annuity. That's a regulated thing, and just no one is following the rules. Just the rules are super outdated. So they're trying other things to try to follow the rules, but to me, it's mass kind of civil disobedience. I want to ask. I'm just ignore that I said that and switch topics.
We're switching topics back to DGen carrots. Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
I want to ask
you. Know what, guys? I'm bored. This is Mints. This is about NFTs.
That's right.
Let's save the fucking government regulated stuff for somewhere else. I know that it's a DAO. But let's get back to the topic at hand, because you've got like 30 seconds left to be on our fucking show.
Wait. Just what you think of the last, what we think with the last question. Let's do a giveaway while we give a little bit of a...
let's get to the DJ giveaway, shall we?
Let's do a giveaway. So you guys that have commented Silver Fox for Brian's amazing giveaway of a silver membership, right? You people there in the comments, you've got another 10 seconds to write Silver Fox down if you haven't already, why I do my screen share and we pick up on the giveaway tool. So I'm
Brian, I love that. I love this. I love that you are on. This has been really informative. There have been some people that have had some other comments about stuff, and you'll figure it out. I saw one thing, and that was the possibility of why there isn't a second membership level, and I think that should be something to be considered between the silver and gold. That maybe there should be a bronze, and silver should be a middle point.
I saw that.
People can figure that out. People can figure that out.
Here we go.
Anyone who doesn't win, I'm giving them something.
Hey, Natasha Simmons. It's great that you've won something. So well done. You need to connect with Brian. He's all over the place, Discord, everywhere. So just connect with Brian. He's going to sort you out. So he's going to send you some tokens. Well done, Natasha. We are super proud that you have actually won that.
Natasha, just tweet at the JPEG DAO your public key, and we will send you our silver membership.
Woohoo! There we go.
XT Pro, you were on the list there, so you're getting a Stellar Punk.
Oh, hey. Brian, can we get you on, say, again? Mate, I would actually quite like to have you as a guest on the Lumen Swap show. Would you come on the Lumen Swap show this month and have a chat with us? Because I think you've got a lot to talk about on a wider scale rather than just NFTs.
Absolutely. I don't want to board ink here. He wanted to talk about art. So yeah.
No, I'm just busting your chops. Don't worry about it, man.
And we can go on Lumen Swap. We can talk politics. We can talk whatever you want, Ben.
Okay, that's perfect. It's been great having you on, mate. We're going to move the show on. So thank you very much. It's been great having you with us. Cheers, Brian. I'll let you get on with the rest of your morning. Take care, mate.
You too.
Yeah, so what just happened there is that you're giving stuff away, but I'm secretly grabbing people that are losers and then giving them something. So XT Pro, you're getting a punk. We'll see who else gets something to that.
Okay, let me try, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do another giveaway in the same show.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? Will you stop it? You're too selfish.
Let me try and do this. Do a dance or something, Ink, while we keep people entertained.
Well, you know what? If it would let me share screen, I could talk about art that's on Lightment that I've been looking at. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
How do I switch that over? Can people? No, it's not coming up. I think that's because I'm a guest. But one of the things that I'd like to talk about is people that I think are killing it right now. And if you're listening or watching and you want to hop on Lightment, since I can't get it up on the screen, I think some of the artists that are pretty cool this week, and actually just in the last few weeks, to be more point about that, Stellar Foxes. If you guys are familiar with the artist who's actually been doing stuff for DriftX, they're Pixel Foxes, but he's also done a couple. He did an elephant drawing piece that went to auction. I think did pretty well. They're really cool. He got his account verified not too long ago. Definitely check him out. I love those. Bulldog is got some really cool stuff. I wish I could. Let me see if I can. I guess it's just because I'm a guest.
Why Ink's doing that, guys? I've changed the my bro Glow's picked up on it. I have changed the giveaway words to Ink Rocks. Okay, underneath the banner, right? So Ink Rocks. So now you need to type in Ink Rocks. No more Silver Fox. Ink Rocks, right? So we've done the Silver Fox. Look at me, nice and grey. We've done Brian, and we're off onto.
I don't know how grey you are.
This is, I'll tell you what, this is like that, that men's spray to keep me from less grey. And it's not really.
Oh, you've got the what's that stuff that they used to, I don't know. I was going to say a sports guy, but I don't know if you would have had that commercial in your country versus the guys that I would have seen doing that. That would have been like baseball players.
Okay, yeah.
So
we have them. We have them as well.
Yeah. Are they? What are they like? Are they like rugby guys or
rugby footballs? Like this, like flexing in front of the mirror with a
yeah. Oh, that's gonna be me one day.
So Silver Fox, listen to me. So Stellar Foxes, I've got Silver Foxes on the brain. Stop it.
Yeah, you actually grabbed the Fox thing. I wish it says that people could. When I go to screen share, it just shows it as like grayed out. Like it makes a second little screen on my end, and I think
I got it. Here we go.
There we go. So there's Bulldog. I actually had let's see here. Where's my mouse? There it is. Had the governance up. So this is the Bulldog collection. I love these. He had a new one out today that I actually bought as my profile picture. It's a Spider-Man one. He does all different kinds. I own this one here. It's the coin flip. He's got some Jedi Bulldogs. I think they're pretty cool. He's got some talent, and he has another little collection that involves elves of some sort.
Don't mention the elves.
Oh, if there's more elves, here it is. This cracked me up, and I snatched it immediately. So sorry, anybody. I keep an eye on his collection. Those are fun. Eli with the octopuses. I don't know if you've seen these. I love these too. People are getting more into the P profile NFTs, and they're doing some cool stuff. It's really fun.
Oh, we have a Lumen Poss. Is that a
yeah?
Lumen?
That's a Lumen octopus. I think I own that one.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, if you want, you're gonna have to come and get it from me. Yep, there. Yeah, I own that one. I'm not gonna give that up.
And who's
these are super talented artists. He does a lot of different stuff. So that collection is really sticks out from the other things that he does.
He is one of the Nuna Massive. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. I've got a couple of pieces as well. I think these ones with the what's the artistic style where you've almost got like a photo with an aspect that's the video?
Well, they call that mixed media.
Okay. Yeah, I like that whole bit where one part's stationary and almost like it's moving. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. Stop motion. I think that's the word we're looking for. Lumen Jack to be honest. I'm loving something he's doing right now. Of course, Seymour. Like Seymour's killing it. I think I brought him up on the last show. But so Lumenjack's doing a cryptozoic hunt. So he's making cryptozoic monsters that are going up to auction. They're liquidity-based reward for when the collection ends. So he's going to be giving out a reward to people who have taken part in the monster hunt. This is the Jersey Devil. I wish I had gotten it. I missed it that day. I'm still miffed. So that's a lot of fun. People are doing little games on their own, that it really makes things really interesting. You don't have to necessarily get involved in some big project when artists can do it themselves. There's Nessie. You can create any NFT and then pair it with a coin and create a liquidity NFT on your own now on Stellar. That's the beauty of what's going on as we try to move forward. A newer artist that goes by Shadow Master on here is a 3D rendering artist, and I haven't seen a lot of 3D rendering art on Lightment, especially of this kind of caliber. So I would watch out for whatever they're planning. This is some sort of ape collection that they're working on that's very early. I own this one, the Lazy Monkey. It's like a sailor monkey with laser eyes. Apparently it was their test run. So, could this be another, I didn't see Gnaw Bears when they came out of nowhere. There were 9 Gnaw Bears that were originally hand-drawn, and no one knew what was going on with that. And then out of nowhere, now look where we are. You just don't know who.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with this 3D is something that I've been
really want more 3D art on Lightment. There's not a lot of 3D artists. It's a tough business, and there's a lot of that stuff on all the other networks, and they want the big Ethereum bucks. I get it.
Yeah. But I also think, talking to big Ethereum bucks, let's move on. All right, yep. Let's talk about Lucy NFT. And while I was away on my holiday home, I thought I did a tutorial on the Lucy NFT marketplace, and I thought no one on Stellar is going to pay $3,000 for a Lucy. So I set it at a nice high price, $3,000 plus, and I go on and log on one day, and I'm like, shit, someone's bought that Lucy.
There are apes out there.
And so when we start talking about the big bucks on ETH, it's starting. The movement is definitely starting now. Some of these Lucies are going for $2,000-$3,000, and I think that the kind of base price, the bottom price now is you're going to be very lucky to be getting in anything less than $500-$600 for some of these. Some of these are stupidly expensive. Some are ridiculous. You're never going to pay it. I think there's a zombie there, 10. You're not going to pay, anything. I don't think for this.
I don't think you're going to get that for $250, about $250. Someone's got a price on the Cowboy one for $3,100.
Yeah,
exactly. We all know who owns Lucy 11. She's asking big bucks.
I think what she's trying to do is buy a house in Gibraltar. That's doing, right?
She could just buy an island too if she'd like.
I spoke to Vlad about this, and there's going to be something, I can't tell you what, but there's going to be.
We've done a lot of that today.
Yeah, there's going to be something that you want to have a Lucy, right? I can't say anything because he's promised me to secrecy. And I will be talking a little more about this tonight on the Lumen Swap show. But you are going to be wanting to be having in your collection one of these 108 Lucies. Remember, there's only 108. There's never any more. They're all
never going to make. There's going to be. This is it. This is it.
Find your identity. jump onto that one, get hold of it. And
there are
then,
still Lucy's unclaimed. Yes, there are still owned in the Lumen Swap.
And Lumen Swap still have a few. Lumen Swap probably still have about 20 maybe of those, and they're open. Vlad said to me that they'll give away another Lucy on the Lumen Swap show. I'm sure this month there's going to be people. I mean, I've done 2 reserve auctions for Lucy's over the last couple of days because I've begged him to give me a couple so I can get them out into the community. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun with the Lucy's moving forward. So there
already has been. I mean, they're fun anyway. Like oh my God, there were a few that were just sitting there at prices that I could afford, like maybe 3-4 days ago, and I was like, they're gonna be there for a little while. Let me think about it. And I started drawing, and I played with my cats, and it's like, you know what, I want this one. This was the one, right? It's like Doctor Who Fez. Like I figured that's the 11th Doctor there as Lucy, and I was like, that's the one. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Whatever. It was like $500 gone.
What's the price of the one with the guardsman's hat on?
They want $3,300 American dollars for that. So 12,890 XLM.
Top fans. I used to be a guardsman. If you want to treat me to something for my birthday in June, that guardsman there.
You used to be a guardsman?
Yeah, I used to do that job, standing outside Buckingham Palace.
Really? For how long?
Yes, I did. But this is an NFT show. And
I said that. Oh, my God. That's right. I kicked Brian off because he was boring me.
Plum Portal always says, who's this miserable English dude on the chat feed? And I'm like, I'm miserable because I was trained to be effing miserable.
You were a living NFT.
I was trained.
You were out there standing every day like an NFT collection that has yet to be claimed.
Yeah, I've been on many American Christmas cards. I've been I've been hugged by Japanese girls who have ground against me. It's been a lot of fun.
You've been wronged by foreigners.
Yeah.
The octopus Lucy, there's so many of these that are just like whoever has these, they're really, really lucky.
They are indeed. And this brings me on to talking of lucky. There's going to be a few lucky things coming your way from Drift Exchange over the next few days. We have now started our X Scouts program. And the X Scouts program is as follows. It enables you people out there in the community that have a sharp eye for NFTs that can go cross-chain. Yeah, this isn't for stellar artists. We know about Seymour, we know about Ink, we know about the plethora of talent that we have in Lightmint. This is about you people going out there into the big wide world and finding NFTs and other artists that are not yet creating NFTs, right, and bringing them into Stellar. We want to do cross-chain collaborations. We want to see more talent that we can have on Ink's hot picks on a weekly basis. Yeah, we want to be seeing more talent coming in. And I have one of these very people. He's come from the XRPL community. His name is Shagzilla. And he is a badass artist. He really is. He's got multiple different talents. He is going to be coming and working with Drift Exchange. And if I just do a cheeky screen share once again, I will show you the art that he has created. And this was just a private commission for me, but I've spoke to him and he's going to come and do a little bit more work for us. So let's get that Drift Racer. Here we go. So this is the one. This is his piece of work. He's allowed me to come and mint this on Lightmint. There's 3 copies of this available. And this Drift Racer that he's made for us, there's 3, as I said, there's 3 copies. One of those copies is going to be given away this week to one lucky person who is providing liquidity to the Drift and XLM pair. So you know what Drift Exchange's kind of mantra is, and that is incentivizing liquidity on Stellar through gamified NFTs. And you will be one person, and I'm keeping one copy. There will be one copy going to you if you are providing LP into the Drift XLM pair this week. So if you like that, that's something for you to be thinking about.
People are going to be jumping on that.
Really, really cool guy as well. Really helpful, really, really nice. And he'll be a massive addition to the Stellar NFT family.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're going to start seeing a lot more of. And that's like the thing, like, you know, I know you guys were, you know, voicing your concerns about how people are getting over here to Stellar. And it's just a matter of time. I mean, Lightment didn't exist before April of last year. It wasn't a marketplace. It was a game, and a good game. We all played it, but then it turned into a marketplace, and that opened in May. And that's not even 1 year ago. We're only into a new year, and sure, that's, you know, you could say that it's been a year on Lightment, but truly it hasn't. So this is the start. I mean, it's been one whole year of NFT artists trying all the other marketplaces, succeeding, failing, whatever you may want to have. And they're ready. They're ready to try another network. They know what Stellar is. It's not like people don't know what Stellar is. I think you only find people that don't know when they're just really new to crypto, and that they're going to not know a lot of it. So that's okay. So these artists are just they're waiting, and they're willing to. I really see that. You know, I see it every day. There's been a few more that I've noticed. They're like, hey, I was on OpenSea, and now I'm jumping over here to give it a try. And yeah, I think they're gonna do well, really well.
I think it's incredible. I mean, we spoke about it, haven't we? You know, in thinking about, you know, just listening to Brian there and the, you know, the aspirations that JPEG DAO have got, you know, for 22. Same with Drift Exchange. I mean, some of the things that we've got going on and we're going to be bringing to the table. Same with Noon. You know, there's many different projects that can be doing different things, and I think Stellar's perfect for gamification of NFTs because of low transaction costs. I mean, you can't ideally do it for an inclusive community on Earth because the gas costs are too high. But here we have that like low gas cost, so we can start burning NFTs, we can send them, we can resend them, we can do all sorts of stuff.
And transaction speeds. I mean, correct. People get NFTs immediately. They get rewards immediately. I can't help but think of how many like collections I've seen on other networks, and they're like, well, I'm still waiting for my reward. I'm still waiting for my NFT to show up in my wallet. You know, that creates a lot of shaky business. And, you know, sure, people get their stuff, but some people say they don't. And you have to take that with a grain of salt on the internet, of course. I see, when is Stellar Punk 500 coming out? Well, I've been sharing the in-process stuff, Jack, online, and hopefully I can finish it today and have it minted today. I don't know what time that will show up on the store if I get it done in a few hours. The idea is that so Stellar Punk 500 is a band aspect, and the reason for that is that I was working on 2 commissions for a music artist, a rapper who wanted one design, and I started making this DJ design, and he loved it so much he wanted a second one with someone performing, and I made that more like a rap concert in space, and he's going to use that for his I think he's using it in some sort of promotional aspect for a concert this year. He's taking all of his ticket sales from that concert in LSP. He is not getting paid in fiat for his concert. He's getting paid in Lumen Swap. So I don't know how many artists out there doing real world work are getting paid in a Stellar token, but this dude is going to be. And he's also going to be adding the Stellar Punk collection into a rap song onto one of his sorry about that, onto one of his albums later in the year. It might not be till the end of the year. It could even be next year. Who knows? I'm not going to rush a musician. I didn't tell him to do that. He was just overjoyed, and that shocked me. That's how it hits people. Like, you know. Should
we do something crazy?
Weren't you giving something away again?
No, well, I'm giving something away because I'm giving away 100,000 drift, right, to someone here. But I want to do something else crazy as well. I want to set a little bit of FOMO.
It's a lot
So
of.
shall I at the end of let's just add to stream? Why don't we do an
Oh God.
Why don't we do an ultra legacy Joker? Right? Why don't we put one of those up for sale right at the end of this show for a 24-hour auction and just create a little bit of heat around the ultra legacy Jokers, because I know that you designed these. And these are seriously hot property. I mean, look at the fireworks blowing off with this.
Has anyone even got? No one's gotten any of these yet, right? The one you have is the one you have, and
we have not auctioned. We were only using the game piece one. So when we come on to, if I just click on to Jokers, so people that are not aware, they can have a look here. Let's go back to the Jokers. The game piece Jokers are these guys, right? So can you see this?
Pieces.
Like the pieces, right? So the game piece Jokers. These are the ones that are used in the game. So these are the ones that use in liquidity provision. These ones are the 101s. Like you've got your legacy Jokers, which are the 2D images, and then you've got the animated. I'm talking about the top of the shop animated Joker from ink. Now, this ain't coming cheap, believe me. This is not going to be something you are getting your hands on with a no reserve. This is coming expensive because, as you know, with all of the Drift Exchange games that we're doing, they will have an additional gangster feel to them. You're going to be getting some swag, as we call it here in the UK. So not specific or not necessarily immediately, but that will have a part to play in a wider game. So the price you pay now may well be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times in rewards to you in the future.
Oh, crap. So
we're going to be high, and I'm talking maybe 200,000 drift tokens high as a reserve, which at the minute it's about $1,500 to $1,600. And I know there's going to be people go, what do you mean $1,600? You don't understand. My personal valuation of these is 5 figures. That's where I am with it in my valuation. So I think with Ink's work anyway, we all appreciate how much that's worth, plus the additional rewards. These things are fire. What do you think, Ink? Should I auction one at the end of the show?
Well, one, I think this is a great idea. I mean, that's like mind blowing. I honestly have a hard time comprehending words that go along with this whole thing that's happened with my art being even attached to things like this. So people are going to go for this big time. Way to take away bids onto number 500, but you're doing 24 hours. So I'm going to say yes. I don't know if I'm going to get that number 5. I'm just going to give you a little nudge for trying to one up me on a release today. I'll tell you
what I'll do. I won't do the Joker.
No, do it.
No. I think that's only fair. You're the artist. Your 500 piece takes precedent. You do your 500 piece. You send me a message when the 500 piece is out of the stable. Okay. As soon as your 500 piece is out of the stable, I'll launch this one. How does that sound as a deal?
It sounds good to me. I mean, I wouldn't let the auction for 500 go for any longer than maybe 6 or 12 hours. It depends on when I can get it on the network and when I can get it finished. It may not even be out until tomorrow. I can't make any promises because the thing is that the other two.
Should I just do a 3-hour auction? You hold back until mine's done.
I don't know. You're asking a lot from people, but they're gonna get a lot from doing this. So I think you probably should give it some time. But yeah, you did do it. Yeah, man. I mean, I can't even really comprehend the amount of value that goes along with that. I'm not a math whiz. I can't do that kind of math rate at this moment. But that's like setting up someone with a portfolio for a while. I mean, that's that could go. I don't want to say where the market's going to go, but that's an early investment in something that could be worth a lot. and then you have the NFT tied to it, and resale value will dictate whatever that sells for now has to sell higher, and you're going to want, if you're a collector who wants to get that reward output, they're going to want the maximum price, and good luck.
Well, I think the
I
other
don't
thing
play this game. That's the other thing. I'm not playing any of the drift games. I want to make that aware. I've done art for these games, so I'm not playing. I wouldn't dare try to impede on anyone's process of getting what they deserve in the community for their money. So,
well, we've already Jack's put here, auction in drift. Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah, there's absolutely. We're not, we're not going to be transacting any of these jokers in XLM. Yeah, you're going to have to buy the drift. You will have to then use the drift to buy it, and then we will be deciding how this works. So, where the difference is, Ink's work is going to be, available for you to buy, in XLM. And ours is going to be available for you to buy just in drift only tokens. You have to get hold of those. But what prediction? Should we have a prediction? Should we just in the thread here? Let's have, what do we think Ink's 500 edition piece is going to go for? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think, XLM or USD, whichever price you want to go.
Sure. I mean, it's going to be an animated piece, and those normally sell for 3,200 XLM or more. I have yet to see anyone really there's been some random collectors out there. They come in, they swoop in, and they get in there. Haven't seen anyone really push the top price. They go for about $1,200. That's about what it is. Depending on the market, when Stellar was at about 40 cents, it sure looks a lot more, So right now you're also getting NFTs that are at a discount, really, because if you pay what you're paying right now, they're going to be worth, way more in just a few months. I don't see the market plummeting like other people believe.
My bro Glow, he's on with us later. So if
you're saying 8,888.
I don't know. Is it about 25 cents? So are we quartering that? Is that too? I think we're going to go higher. I'm going to go 15,000.
3,500.
I'm going to go 15,000 XLM. 15,000 is my bid. We'll see how it
well. Okay. So here's the problem, everybody. You don't know what this guy, how bad he wants it, because he was talking about how he wants it bad. So good luck, because this devil may be the one. I'm pointing in the wrong direction again, but you just don't know what he's up to. So I guess I don't know. Who knows?
Let's see. So we've got what have we got else to tell people about in this show? There's been so much to unpack. There's still people posting Ink rocks. I know you're planning to give something away there. I am. I'm giving away 100,000 drift tokens, which is in itself a considerable sum of.
How?
Let's have a look. What have we got? We have got giveaway 2 is up next. Yeah. So if you guys
giveaway 2.
If you want the Drift Racer, by the way, one of the conditions, you have to be part of the Drift Exchange Telegram community. Yeah, we're trying to build engagement into the Drift Exchange project. So you need to be providing liquidity, and you need to be inside the Telegram community. If you just go through my Boring Crypto Twitter, you can find the link, click onto that, join, happy days, you're in. So let's do the second. And I've never done 2 giveaways in a show, so this is the first time we've done it. Let's go to the giveaway.
I'm sniping some of your people in that list. So
let's have a, right, you ready? Let me screen share this bad boy.
Do it.
Let us just find this screen share.
Who is the mystery drummer for Punk 500? Well, the drummer got detailed left out just because it's taking a really long time to do. So his head down was a motion thing. Drumming, it's a lot of emotion. So I could have drawn his face. I mostly cut him out just for time expense, but it has created this mystery of who the drummer is. So I don't know. I mean, he likes Aqua.
Here we go. We're on. Tell me when you can see it.
There we go.
Michelle Thompson, you have won yourself 100,000 drift. And I know, Michelle, you are already a massive fan and you are in our community. So I will connect with you to get your wallet address and I will send you the 100,000 drift tokens. Well done to you, Michelle.
And he must really like tea. Mr. T, what kind of tea do you like?
I like English breakfast tea, green.
He's getting himself a Stellar Punk.
Mr. T has got a Stellar Punk.
Yeah, Mr. T's going to get a Stellar Punk. So send me a DM on Twitter, both Mr. T and RD. They'll get the last 2 Stellar Punks that are in stock before the new batch come out.
How much value have we given away tonight? An insane amount. So I would like to say
crazy.
A very big thank you for Inc. for allowing me to have this 1,000 show of mint over here on Bullring Crypto. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're back next week. We'll flip back onto Inc.'s channel so you can catch us over there. Thank you very much to Brian. We're going to be bringing Brian to the Lumen Swap show this month and have a good chat about all sorts of things, Lumen Swap, JPEG DAO, politics, what we should be doing, SDF, and all that kind of cool stuff. So it was great to have him on and get his insight. If you haven't already got your membership at JPEG DAO, head off there and get that done because you are going to be part of this mechanism of change and all the cool stuff that they're bringing to the NFT table throughout 22. So from myself, Ben, thank you very much for logging in. I hope all the prize winners are buzzing off winning those prizes. Any last words, Inc.?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody who has been watching and tuning in and contributing comments and thoughts and some of the people that are actually members of the DAO. Thank you guys for everything you do. And good luck with everything that comes forward in the weeks and months ahead. And next week, we're actually going to be having on Lumen Jack to talk about his new role at Nuna. He's taken an education role on. So he's an educator. You're an educator. We're going to be educating people about NFTs next week.
I think to me, it's fascinating that, I obviously created this role with Lumen Swap, and now projects are seeing that there's a need to have that liaison, and that education role. And
we'll see what that means. We'll see what that role entails for him.
Exactly. I'm really, really proud of the fact that, Nuna have said, let's bring Jack in, who's been contributing on all the projects we're involved in. He's a strong force, and he's a good guy, and he really does a lot. So they all do, every person involved. So thank you, everybody. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you at 7 o'clock for the Lumen Swap show. Take care. Cheers, Inc. All the best, mate.
You too, man.